Um,
Everybody be quiet.
oh,
Hey, welcome to the Every Other Tuesday ECMD, the new ECMD experience, brought to you by allegedly DJ Punch 317 on all platforms, DJ Manny Faces from Indianapolis, Indiana, Fleet DJs. And tonight, Brittany is going to be doing some work as well. But I'm going to start off myself with my great friend from like 90 years, John Sly Wilson, and Janiqua, amazing artist from Australia. The first thing I want to know, Janiqua, is how did you and John meet? And you have to unmute.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. First of all, greetings from the land down under, and thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. It was random. I was on a trip back to the States because I go back there. It's kind of like my second home for now. We'll be moving over there. And I was just sitting in a restaurant and a gentleman walked past and he was just talking to me. He's like, "Oh, what are you sitting there by yourself eating for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm cool. I'm cool." And then on the way out, I was saying thank you for the chat. It was lovely. And then I met his friend, and then we just got talking about music. And then his friend said, "Oh my gosh, you've got to meet this guy called John Wilson." And yeah, that's how it happened. Just divine orchestration. So I'm very grateful.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
What part of Australia are you from?
Sydney.
Okay, and were you born there?
I was born down the coast, about 2 hours down the coast. Yeah.
So what was life growing up, and when did you actually start performing?
Um, I guess I've been singing from out of the womb. Mum used to play like Barbra Streisand and Whitney Houston and just on the record player. So I've had music playing out throughout the house all my life. And I just tend to be drawn to like R&B, soul, just naturally what I kind of was drawn to. So my parents had different tastes, but yeah, and I grew up in the church, so we didn't really do like gospel stuff over here that I like listening to, like Kirk Franklin and CC One and BB One and so I just kind of just shut myself away and listened to that stuff because that's what my heart was drawn to. But yeah, so I didn't really do music in school. So when I sang at the end of year, the presentation at the end of all our schooling years, everyone was shocked that I could actually sing. So that was really cool, funny. And I just went on from there. I was part of church teams and worship leader, vocal director, choir director in Hillsong and just different churches along the way. So got a lot of experience in different things and working in different bands over the years. And yeah, I just love writing, love singing about my journey and hopefully inspiring other people and encouraging them through my music.
Who would you actually, if you had to say, I think I'm more like this person, that person, who would you say that you're more like, that names that we would know?
As far as artists go, I was told Tina Marie, but I didn't really know too much about her, so I had to go listen. But she was a legend. Sometimes get told Mariah, Whitney. There's been times Celine Dion. I actually have been told CC Winans before. Yeah, I don't know, just being myself, but obviously being influenced along the way of the music that I've listened to along the journey. So
yeah, all these names you mentioned is really like, get to my head. I almost have a story of each one. My
oh, wow.
Winans story is I was at a BB and CC Winans concert backstage with my son's mother while she was pregnant with my son. So that was kind of unusual to, be out, partying or whatever with a, big stomach. And then, Whitney Houston.
I love her. Favorite.
Yeah, she, I remember, like, I guess it was her first tour. She was opening for Luther Vandross, out at the front row theater in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm like, who the hell is this? I think her single may have been out at the time, so I knew about whatever the first song was, but she had like 4 records that was just stunning, you know, and then Celine Dion. I mean, that's just one of a kind with her thing with in Las Vegas, her, you know, residence there and doing shows and stuff. What name you mentioned? Oh, Mariah Carey. Well, everybody know my relationship with Mariah Carey. I promoted all of her records since 1990. I got a plaque that I show sometimes here on Clubhouse, where with Clubhouse and Zoom, where I had got a plaque when she had sold 5 million records on her album in 1990. It's at 9 million now, and I worked every one of her records up till a couple of years ago, actually. So it was like this a long run with her, even when she left Sony and went to Capitol Records. I'm assuming after she possibly had a nervous breakdown since her former husband was trying to ruin her career, it seemed like. But she even it did pretty good too. But it started off real slow, but it did pretty good too. But yeah, so as a kid growing up in Australia, have you ever been to the United States or outside of Australia?
Oh yeah, we did a gospel tour with my church at the time in 2003, 2004. That was Canada, New Zealand, America. Yeah, that was really cool. And I haven't been to Europe, but yeah, mainly America. I mean, I've been to the islands, Fiji, and you know, other places like that. Thailand, lived in Asia for a while with singing contracts, so that was really cool. Yeah, lots more places to see. And my background is European. So my mum was Swiss, and my nana a German-speaking Swiss woman, and my grandfather is Danish, was Danish, yeah. So I'd love to get to that part of the world and see my heritage.
Well, on your press kit, it says that you're an artist, songwriter, model, and vocal coach.
Yes.
So now, obviously, we see why you're a model.
Oh,
and we'll find out in a minute why you're a singer, you know, and the songwriter part. But when did you start being a vocal coach?
Oh, well, back in the years around those albums, 2003, I was helping because I was doing vocal directing for the albums in church. And so I just loved helping other singers. I love seeing people break through like blockages they've had, or because singing's such a thing that pulls on the heartstrings, and you could see a lot of people were held back by certain things. So I love just getting in there and like, no, you can do it. So I do that to this day. I love it. And so always part of me will do some kind of something like that outside of being an artist as well. But yeah, back from those years, like 2000, early 2000s. And I also teach in a college, which is vocational. It's not university, but it's vocational. So it's after your schooling structure is different. So after our 12 years of high school, 6 years of high school, year 12, that after that, technical colleges. So I teach for Cert 3 and Cert 4, and one-on-ones as well as class teaching, and diploma of music business. But our music business is very different, I'm finding out. Thank you to John for educating me how different it is over there in America. So I'm still learning a lot. But yeah, I've been a vocal coach for a long time, and I'm an accredited teacher for IVTOM. It's IVTOM, and they're in America. So I'm one of their Australian representatives here. So, and I could sing naturally, but I didn't want to teach from that place of just like, hey, just copy me. I actually wanted to know what's happening in the voice. Like, it's really interesting. It's amazing. It's like a whole nother world in there. So yeah, lots of fun.
Okay, well, I just put your Instagram in the chat for everybody. So you can click on the Instagram and follow her if you haven't already. That's in there. And I'll put some other social media in there later. Like, let me see what you got here. You got, I think I saw Facebook. You got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. So I'll put all of those in there for you guys. Actually, Mike could do it right now. Sometimes I want to act up when you're ready to copy stuff. Okay, while I'm pausing, I want everybody to get ready for questions, because what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to actually play when I play the music. I'm gonna actually cut YouTube off because I've been had several strikes on YouTube because when DJ Punch comes in here on Monday, he likes to you know bang all these different songs, and then next thing I know, everybody want to strike us for doing it. I just put the Apple Music in there. I was trying to put everything, but I get it in there as we talking. So I want anybody that got questions to get ready to ask their questions because after the questions, I'm gonna cut the YouTube off and just go strictly to, with the Zoom recording. So anyone have any questions? If not, then I'm gonna have John do some talking. Anybody have any questions for Janiqua yet? Nobody? Okay, John, what's going on? What's your contribution tonight?
Well, my contribution is that, when we met, I was really shocked, but not shocked of how great an artist that she is, and also a songwriter, and also she neglected to say that she plays keyboards, and she has a tremendous vocal range. She is really, really like hopefully he's going to take the world by storm. She has great personality, and so I just we're going to be working together in the future, and I hope you guys like her. Like she's great. She's awesome to me.
Oh, thank you, John. I'm gonna cry. Thank you.
Okay, Janika, you want to add anything else that people have normally asked you that I may have not asked that's probably interesting and people need to hear?
Oh, I mean, it's not got anything to do with music, but some people like to find out that I have that I'm a triplet. So my mum and dad, obviously it took two people. Mum had one baby and then she had twins and then triplets. So I'm one of the three, and it was Australian Mother's Record. There was no trace of it in our family at all. And I have two children, Shanice and Isaiah, and they both have beautiful voices, but I'm not like anyone to push them into something just because I'm doing it. But they'll show up on my songs now and then if they feel like it. So that's really cool to know. I've got two kids, and yeah, they've been an inspiration as well. And I've done a lot of it by myself, but I've learnt a lot, and that's just been my journey, and I've learned a lot from it. So I'm grateful, and God turns all for good anyway. So yeah, I'm in a good place.
Who else in your family sings?
No one really. Like my triplet brother will just bust out here and there, but and he should probably have done something with it, but he didn't do anything with it. Actually, my son, yeah, so he started just recording, but I love that he just did it by himself. And he's like, oh, Mom, listen to this. I've done some songs. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even know you're doing it. So he's kind of like been hiding in there. I hear some because he does a bit of rapping and stuff. It's so cute. But he actually really has a nice voice and a really good feel, good rhythm. And I said, oh my gosh, do you want to feature on some of my stuff? So now he's at this age, he gets to choose. But when he was little, I'm like, I mean, he's still got to choose, but I'm like, do you want to be on the song? And they didn't really know too much about it back then. But yeah, he's doing some stuff as well. So I'm yet to show John that.
And we'll one final for us that don't know how it is to be a triplet or even a twin or whatever. Give us some idea how that was growing up, or how it was when you sit down to breakfast to eat, or going to school, or in a classroom, or just give us some idea how the triplet thing worked.
Okay, so it was so fun. So the two boys with me, so first pregnancy was a boy, and then boy girl twins, and then triplets. So we were part of a twin and triplet association growing up. And so we used to go on these, every school holidays, we go on trips or day trips or 3-day trips and whatever else. And so the organizers, wherever we go, everyone's like, huh? You see all the mouths drop because they'd be seeing double everywhere, double or triple identicals. So that was a lot of fun. There was one time when we lost one of my triplet brothers shopping, and we're like, oh, where the heck did he go? And we were in a shop, and my brother's like, oh, he's in there. And we went in and we're looking around, we're like, where? There's no one in here. But he saw a we found out later, of himself in the mirror, there must have been a mirror through the window. So that was funny. So lots of stuff like that happens. And they used to take each other's detention at school. So, and the teachers wouldn't know which one they're getting, which is pretty funny. But yeah, lots of fun stuff like that. And then just on the modeling front, because I've been doing that for as long as I've been singing, but that's not my passion. I still do it, and I'm thankful that's, brought income in and stuff. But growing up, like if there was a twin ad or something like that, they wouldn't actually get me with my triplets brothers. They'd pair me with my twin brother. I mean, my brother who's a twin with my sister. So it's like, yeah, it was interesting. So big family, always someone to talk to, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, I don't know any different, but yeah, it was really fun. And where we were close, like there was, I think it was 5 under the age of 3 or 4. It was very close. So mum and dad were like superheroes, like with all kids, like feeding one there, then 2, then 3. I always think of birds in a nest and we're like, feed me. So lots of fun.
What's interesting is that even though I went to Europe when I was in high school in the 11th and 12th grade, I really didn't remember a lot of the language. I remember a little bit of the, how things sounded. But I'm a big fan of Hell's Kitchen, right? So I'm hearing him saying, my mom, my this, so I'm hearing the word mum, M-U-M. And then, of course, I hear it now more so on Clubhouse. So this is an international app. You hear people from all different countries, not just Europe, but India, the Middle East, and all of that. So I'm starting to learn a lot of people's culture, from different people being on apps, on these audio apps and also video apps now too. There's a new app called Chatter that's supposed to be taking the world by storm. I'm already on there as ECMD, and Queen Karen is on there too. And I created a house for Make Your Ear Hot ECMD on there already, but we haven't done anything yet. It's still in the beta phase, but it's just something that people should probably check out. Anybody else have a question before we start playing the music? Anybody remember the question or something they wanted to say before? Because I'm getting ready to hit this on YouTube. Somebody say something?
Brittany J has one.
Yes, I have my hand.
Hi.
Hi, Janika. First, look, I went and got dressed, but I didn't realize I just dressed.
Oh my
myself
gosh,
like
yes.
you. But this is usually when I'm there. So listen, I love your style already.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love all the lights too.
Thank you very much. Yes. So, John, I have a question. In this industry and the time that you've spent experiencing different people, different genres, different music, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from what you have experienced up until this point? Like, what was your biggest, what's the word? Not a bad takeaway, but a good takeaway. Like, I'm going to take this with me. Like, this is a gem that I've learned, and I'm going to take this and apply this as I continue on with my career.
You're talking to Janiqua or me?
Both. You too.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was for you. Oh, for me, like, gosh, I feel like I'm just starting again. I've been in the system for like, oh my gosh, 30 something years. So when you do hear anything that may be at a different level than you obviously don't know anything about me, but it's not like an overnight thing. I've been I literally have been on the path for a very long time, and I've learned a lot from, not so favorable things, but it can be disheartening, but I don't let it get to me, but I just keep going. Can I just liken myself to something? I don't know if you have them over there, but like those blow up things at the car yard?
Yes.
They're like this, and they blow in the wind, and they're really tall. I'm tall, but not because of that. So I don't know, every time I drive past, they kind of speak to me, because I'm like, that's me. When they kind of droop down, but then they get back up, and they're like, so, you fall down, get back up, fall down, get back up. And like, literally, my middle name should be Perseverance, because I've persevered. Yeah, I've done a lot of it by myself. I've brought 2 kids up mainly by myself. But they've been really such a inspiration and part of my journey. I wouldn't have it any other way. And God already knew I was going to go through this. So I'm actually grateful because it puts a lot of substance and life and rawness and honesty into my songs, because that's where I'll write from always. I'm not ashamed of anything. God's already taken any shame that there ever was. And he'll continue to do so. And I just really want to edify and exaltate, because that's one of my spiritual gifts, other people, because exaltation. I don't know. Is that a word? Exaltate. Yes. Anyway, I abbreviated it, but it's a word now. And I have a lot to say, but God's kept my mouth shut, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So there's a time and a place. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I say he's preparing you. We still
and I mean, like David, I don't know if you know the Bible at all, but David was in the field of preparation, but he knew he was going to be king. He knew he was anointed and marked. Not that I'm any more special than anyone else, but God's already given all of us gifts. I don't want what anyone else has got. I want what God's got for me.
That's
and just
right.
And even yourself going at times like, crap, am I supposed to be doing this? Oh my gosh, God, I just want to be in the center of your will. What did you put me? You chose me. You put me in this, into time, at that date, in this earth for a purpose and an assignment. So I don't want to miss that. I want to get it right. And if it's taken all this time, who said I can't do it at my age? Who said I can't do it when I've got 2 kids? There's no rule. I don't follow rules. Yeah.
I love you. So I love you up and down, left and right. And I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. I'm sorry, I didn't give an introduction. My name is Brittany J. I'm your favorite host from Cleveland, Ohio. I am also the Ohio Fleet DJ State Manager. Yeah, so first off, Janiqua, we gonna talk. We gonna have a whole nother conversation, because yes, that is exactly how I feel about being Brittany J, the host. You know, like, it just happened, and it's like, yeah, okay, God, I'm here. You done sat me here. You done put me here. You have prepared me for this. So whatever it is that you need me to do, because when I get lost and I don't know what's going on, it's like, well, you already knew that I was ready for this. It's just us who don't know, who don't realize, like, hey, he has already set the plan. You are supposed to go down this path and believe in him enough so that you believe in yourself to know, like you said, no, I know I'm going to get out of this. It's just I have to sit and I have to cook. I have to bake for a minute. It's like a butterfly. You got to be in your control for a minute.
Yeah. And even when we choose things that we get ourselves into, and God in all his grace, like, I literally wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be singing. I wouldn't even be alive. There's many times that I could have been dead already, just even from car accidents alone. But by his grace, that's the only reason I'm here. And my own record label is called Changed by Grace. And grace seems to be the theme of my life, and spiritual name, whatever else, grace. Because it's
okay.
I didn't.
Kermit gonna get mad at me. So this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna keep talking. I know I am, but I'll say boom. The name of my record label is Together We Elevate. But see, that's why me and you, we're gonna have another conversation, or we're gonna do this again. But I want to get John some time to answer the question, because we will talk all day. I see it already.
Yeah.
So John, I want to give you a chance to answer the question so we can get to the music. I don't want to hold on.
Actually, I wouldn't get mad.
Okay.
I would just be quiet.
Okay.
But I get your point, but no, it's all good. It's just that, we do have somebody else coming up, so whatever time you have them scheduled would be the issue, not talking, because I want to know. Matter of fact, if anybody else have any questions after Chad, put in the chat that you have a question so I can call on you. But go ahead, Chad, with your question. Thank you, Brittany.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
John, I think John had to answer my question.
Yes, John.
No, that's okay. This is the Brittany thing. Because I know we're on time, but again, me being from Cleveland, Ohio, and as I said, knowing Kermit, from day one almost, having gone around the world 18 times now, and produced in most of these countries. One thing that I found out that music is the healing force of the world, along with God. And you may not speak the same language, but when you do this, you're going to find some kind of way to communicate. And I don't care what part of this planet you're on, music is everything. And Janiqua was a perfect example of that.
Thanks, John.
Yes. I'm glad Chad asked this question, but I would definitely connect with y'all, because I want to continue this conversation with you two on another platform where we have more time, so we can get more into depth, because yes, love you. Okay, your turn.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, great. First of all, hey John, great to see you again, man. Had a really great chat with you last time. And Janico, I think you were there. I think there was some scheduling things, but after that meeting, I looked into some of your stuff, and I really your range. Like I'm fascinated with how you got into gospel and R&B. Like I wasn't aware that there was much of a scene for that in Australia. So that's interesting. But I wanted to know how you went down that road because by the way, I'm Chad. I'm also from Cleveland, Ohio. I played in gospel bands back in high school, played saxophone. It was a great time. And I see you shaking your head, Brittany. What's up?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's me keeping my.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I love it. So, did you finish asking or?
Yeah, just more or less journey into gospel.
Okay. Because I don't know, like God must have just said, like, hey, you're going to do soul and that kind of feel of R&B because it's a thread through anything I sing. Even if I sing like a poppy song, I still sing it. Just being me. I don't know how. I didn't really ask for it. And definitely didn't get it from the churches over here. We do CCM, like Christian contemporary music, but they didn't even know. They were listening to their stuff. And yes, I wrote songs for the gospel, I call it gospel because that's my thing. But CCM, I wrote songs for the church albums, which were praise and worship. Again, different to, say, Kirk Franklin, that. And I always did that stuff outside. And back then I was doing that with my husband. I'm divorced since 2007. Actually, better days about my divorce, but it's positive. So listen to the words. When you listen to my music, listen to the words, please, because hopefully that can help somebody. But yeah, so we were doing that outside of the church, but the pastor at the time, he's like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. But the players there kind of didn't get it. So but that was a separate thing to church, and it always has been, like the here. And no one was really doing what I do in Australia before. I mean, now you've had Hillsong, Young and Free, and all that kind of thing, where it's like Justin Bieberish kind of poppy, that kind of bit of touching on R&B. But before that, no one was doing that. And I did win an award here for, it was like the Independent Music Awards for a song back then. That even shocked me. It's like, oh wow, they're like this music here. Okay, cool. But no one was really doing it. And so, like I said, I've been in the system for many years. A lot of people haven't heard what I do because it really takes the right people around you. And I think that's been my biggest thing. But hey, not too late. But yeah, for the R&B thing, I didn't really ask for it. I'm glad that I just have a natural leaning towards that. I'm very grateful for that. I mean, I'm very versatile. I can sing a lot of stuff, like jazzy stuff. But I just kind of label R&B because that's the vibe that kind of comes out. I don't know. But
Yeah,
hopefully that answers the question.
No, it makes perfect sense. As like, as an instrumentalist, coming up, I played in a lot of different genres of bands. I played in a salsa band, gospel group, regular jazz. I played in some orchestras. And I always found that similar thing, like I'm drawn to a sound, not so much a genre. And it's just kind of that sound and feeling of what sounds right and feels right for you. It's hard to define sometimes as a genre. So I applaud your, delineation of how to market your music in both the secular and the gospel.
Thank you. I know I've been told along the way, like, oh, you need to be one or the other. I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, unless Kermit's got something else to say about that, but and it might be different over there, but unless I hear otherwise, like with someone that I trust, and obviously, if that's in my spirit, like, no, stop doing this, then I will. But I don't know, like, and again, like I can write CCM music, I can write gospel stuff, and also praise and worship music, which is purely like what they sing congregationally in churches and stuff. So I don't know. Whatever comes out of me, I need to get it out. So whatever shape or form it takes, I'm like, okay, thank you, God. And then the next one comes. So like, yeah. I don't know.
The most exciting time for me is like right when I'm sitting down to start a new session. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to write, but yeah, it's just, I make what feels right, make what feels good. And at the end I have a song and I think it sounds cool, but like, what do I call it? Is it pop? R&B? Is it neo soul? Is it jazz? Is it house music? You know, and I find it difficult to aim into the right genres. You know what I mean? So it's really inspiring to see that you were able to, you know, to go both ways and really make it work. And your stuff is amazing quality everywhere you go because you're talented.
Oh, thank you. Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as different genres of music, I worked with an artist back in 2012 that we decided to put out a gospel record and an R&B record at the same time. So on the R&B record, we used the name that she had when she was on Columbia Records, which was Tene, Tene, Tene Williams. And then we used Tiffany Bino, Bynoe. We used that name for her gospel to kind of, you know, as you know, I have over 200 #1 records on Billboard, and I have over 200 gold, platinum, diamond, 100 million sold plaques and stuff. But the funny thing is that I would do tricks like that to trick the powers that be. So make a long story short, so she had a #1 gospel record and a #1 R&B record at the same time. You
wow. That's so cool.
And I had another lady that was 71 years old that had 2 top 15 records at 71 years old on the R&B and the gospel chart at the same time as well. You know, so you know, that's just to give you an idea how you can just do like it. It's never too late. That was the first time she ever charted. You know, she was, you know, in her 70s, first time she ever got on anybody's chart. Nothing was wrong with that. You know, hey, you know, she's happy. You know, she's still recording. She hadn't put nothing else out yet that I know, but she's very happy to have these 2 plaques showing her top 15 records for her family and friends and whatever, you know. So anybody can, you know, pursue their dreams is what I'm basically saying. You can pursue your dreams.
Thank
okay,
you.
anyone else before I start playing the music?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the music. I'm gonna knock this.
Can I say one more thing, Kermit? Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Just with my music as well. You know, there's been times just along the journey, whatever, and you're like, okay, God, if I'm really meant to be doing this, like, you know, I'll leave my gifts kind of at the altar kind of thing. And then I'm like, okay, if I've got it wrong, then just stop it. But then more songs come. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll keep doing it. But it's a flame that's not been able to go out along the journey. But the way that he reminded me of that was actually playing my songs in the car, my gospel songs as well. They actually discipled myself. That's when you know it's so much bigger than you. It's not even about you. It's nothing I could do in my own strength or nothing about ability or whatever like that. But man, that's what you want. You want the songs to be able to connect with people and carry something of that's going to help. You know what I mean? Like be an answer to someone's problem or whatever. You know, we all go through stuff. No one's better than anybody else. But yeah, so when you hear my songs, please listen to the lyrics. And yeah, I pray that they reach you where you're at. So yeah, thank you.
And speaking of gospel, I'm sure everybody in here has heard of Aretha Franklin, even though she's not necessarily considered a gospel artist, but she did gospel. I think she had like a double gospel album, and she did R&B as well. Well, the interesting thing is I did a project on her dad, and this was just before she died. This was like a year before she died. Did a project on her dad, and the music was like 40 years old, and her dad had been dead for 30 years, and it went #1 in Billboard on the gospel chart, and it went above. It was it was the time when Snoop Dogg had a gospel album out, and also Wild Gospel 2018, which was all of every major gospel artist in the United States or whatever. So the funny part, when I had the plaques made up, the guy that was making the plaques only wanted to show it as #1. I'm like, no. You need to show the top 5 because I needed people to know, no, this is above Snoop Dogg and this is above, you know, Wild Gospel 2018 with all the big stars on it. But anyway, make a long story short, I got into a lot of trouble behind that, but, you know, by doing that because it was also on the independent label and all that stuff. So I just want to share, you know, like I said, anything is possible. People don't know that anything is really possible. You just have to get a game plan and work at it. I never would have thought that record would have went #1, really, but it did. Hey, so that's what it is. Okay, anybody? I'm getting ready to put the music. Any other comment right quick?